Thinking, bro, aren't you supposed to be fishing somewhere new? And fun story about that is, I'll wait and see if some people get up in here, and then we'll tell the story. But rainy day out here in the Pacific Northwest. If you're watching this after the fact, then shout out to you. I'm trying to just stay dry and stay warm as well. Got our bobber out, and it's a incredibly boring way to fish, but I could use some incredibly boring after the interesting morning I just had. Trying to up my YouTubing game, so hopefully the audio sounds good. We got the wireless mic. Can you hear me now? It's pretty windy and oftentimes pretty rainy where I live, so I don't love this camera angle. You're looking right at my neighbor's back porch, and since there's nobody in here, I try to tweak it. Tweak it? Is that the right word? Can you say tweak it without making like a drug reference? I might just move my tripod altogether. That's a little better. A little better, but not great. We'll go with that. Wednesday the 9th as I film this. And went out to not a new pond last night on the evening stream. And I got a bite right now though. I'm expecting probably some bluegill. That seems to be what's hitting lately. So I guess I could have called this bluegill fishing live, but we didn't, because I don't want to be a liar. I'm not specifically targeting bluegill. But like I said, the live stream last night was, I had a ton of fun. Brought the dog with me. Normally I have her with me now. She'll be up in an hour or two, but it's hard to get a chihuahua to go outside if it's raining, unless she's in your coat. Hopefully we can get some people up in here. A little bit of salad in the backyard pond. It was fairly decent yesterday, weather-wise. And the ponds are starting to heat up a little bit. I think water temp is up to almost 70 degrees, especially in some of the shallower ponds. Had a bite, hit my worm, just didn't, failure to connect. Hopefully that wind isn't getting picked up too much on the mic. I built this little fishing structure, and the only problem with it is hard to cast when you got a roof. I think I might put a tarp here on this side. I know you guys can't see it, but get a lot of wind. I'm gonna cut that down. A little bit chilly. Might go grab my coat. Cloudy, had a marine layer push come through, and it's wet. Normally it's just kind of wet, but today it's really wet. But that should be pretty good for my tomatoes and other vegetables I try to grow. We don't have the temperatures out here at the coast. It just doesn't get hot enough. So I built a like a hot box. I call it a greenhouse, but it's definitely just some plastic stapled to some 2x4s. But it works. It works pretty well, to be honest with you. It's probably typically 10 to 20 degrees hotter in there. And I also try to grow peppers, like jalapeno, all different kinds of peppers. Tried to do a North Carolina Reaper this year, but peppers like a lot of heat, a lot of dry. And I don't have, well, I guess with the hot box, I do have some of those things, you know. Supposed to do a painting project for a lady today, and it's raining. And I texted her last night, said, hey, we're supposed to get some bad weather coming in. You don't really want me to paint your house today. It's raining. Hey, if you're just getting here, thanks for checking us out. We're doing some bobber fishing in the backyard pond. Normally I do something different. Normally I try to find a new spot, but I did that. I woke up early and went to head out, find a new spot on Google Maps. I've just been using Google Maps to find different bodies of water, and I go bushwhacking to find this pond that I think is just in the middle of nowhere, and it was. I woke up early to get there. And I was tromping through the woods looking for this pond, expecting to come up on it at any time, and I'm getting soaking wet because it's raining here in the Pacific Northwest. And Google Maps is a liar, bro. There is no pond here. I'm checking the GPS on my phone, and it says I'm standing in the middle of a pond, and there was no pond. There was just nothing. So I head back to the truck, soaking wet, kind of admit defeat, and head back. So now we're kind of fishing my backyard pond. It's not new, which kind of bums me out, but sometimes shit happens, and we're out here. I'll flip you around so you can take a look at what we got going on. Just a rainy day in the Pacific Northwest. Got a 4-acre pond. Looking for some, there's all kinds of stuff in here. There's bluegill, there's yellow perch, there's brim, catfish, trout, and the occasional bass. Super simple setup this morning. I just got a worm and a bobber. If the rain lightens up, then I'll get up, throw the bait cast around, see if I can find some largemouths. But right now I'm just kind of hanging out, drinking coffee. Thanks for taking the time to check out the channel. We're live every morning, 6:30 a.m. and then every evening, 6:30 p.m. Depending on when I eat dinner. I don't like fishing on an empty stomach. But yeah, usually on the 6:30s, Pacific Standard. I'm out here on the Best Coast. And less talking, more fishing. Thanks for taking the time to check us out. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Hey, good morning. If you're just getting here, thanks for taking the time to check us out on this rainy Tuesday in the Pacific Northwest. We are looking for, I like a couple yellow perch. If I can get a good sized yellow perch, I'd probably eat it for breakfast. But right now we are tangled in some lily pads. All right, we got him out, but we bashed our bobber into the blocks. So there's probably a hole in it. You know, I'm fishing like a true sportsman with oh, they were just drive-bys. That's alright. We like them drive-bys. You know, I am concerned that the internet has ruined people's attention spans. You know, they'll click a live, and I do it. I'm guilty. If I'm gonna keep it 100, I probably wouldn't sit and watch one of my lives. That's not true. I watch live fishing all the time. Background noise. I mean, what else am I gonna watch? Temu challenges. Hey, if you're just getting here, thanks for checking us out on this rainy Tuesday in the Pacific Northwest. Normally I'm out looking for something, like fishing a new pond. Oh, so rude. I don't care if you stop by, but at least say hi. Hey, good morning. If you're just getting here, bobber fishing in the backyard pond. Got a night crawler and a worm out there. Or, repetitive. Normally I fish somewhere new. And that was the plan for the morning. But got up early, looked on Google Maps, because that's how I find my spots. I'll just see a body of water on Google Maps, and I'll drive there and try to fish it. And I live in an area where that's pretty easy to do. So I was on Google Maps last night, picking out spots, new ponds to fish, somewhere I ain't never fished before. So I'll get up in the truck early, load it up, head out, and get to the spot. And it looks like I had to do some bushwhacking. It looks like this pond was I don't know, probably half a mile in through some bushes with no real set trail. But I was up, I was early, I was getting there, you know, and so I'm walking and I have no idea where the hell I'm at. I don't even, like, I think I'm just walking through somebody's property at this point. Not that I'm overly concerned about that, but mildly concerned about trespassing. And I get out there and I'm looking on my phone on the GPS, and according to Google Maps, I'm standing in the middle of this pond and I don't see anything. I'm soaking wet because all the brush is wet and it's raining. And I got, you know, my fishing bag with me and my pole, and my pole's catching on every piece of brush you could possibly imagine. And there was no pond. Google Maps is a liar. You know, so I mean, I stayed out there for, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes just looking around for these ponds, and absolutely nothing. So long story short is we're in the fish hut in the backyard looking for whatever bites. Bear with me. Hey, if you're just getting here, thanks for taking the time to check us out. We are bobber fishing in the backyard pond. I know it's nothing too exciting, but we got our butts kicked this morning, so we're trying to do something a little different. Trying to do something, not something a little different, just something, you know? Hopefully the audio's good. That's how you know you're a real sportsman, when you ain't even got bait. Got them bullfrogs croaking. Hey, good morning. If you're just getting here, thanks for taking the time to check us out. You know, normally these morning streams are somewhere new, but Google Maps is a liar. I went to look for a spot, didn't have any luck. Hiked out into the middle of nowhere, checking my phone and the GPS the whole time. And Google Maps said I was standing in the middle of a pond that didn't exist. So after admitting defeat, we're coming home and fishing the backyard pond. Pretty soggy day out here in the Pacific Northwest. We're just kind of hanging out in the fish hut, and we're live every morning, 6:30, and every evening 6:30 p.m. as well. I think I threw my bait off, so I'm gonna have to reel that up and check it out. I like the fish hut because it keeps me dry. No, we got bait. Let's leave it alone. Maybe if I leave my bobber out there for more than 5 minutes, I'll catch a fish. If you're just getting here, thanks for taking the time to rock with me on a Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a great week. If you're new to the channel, we go live every morning, 6:30 a.m. Should do ASMR, rainy day pond fishing. There's a bite, there's a bite, there's a bite. There's a fish. Just missed him. Did he get my worm? Oh, yeah, I got my wormy. I missed that hook set. Sleeping, you know? Just, what else can you call it? Big old bullfrogs are croaking. Hey, good morning. If you're just getting here, thanks for taking the time to check us out. I had a pretty defeat. Goodbye. I'm always trying to up my YouTube game, and starts out with a wireless mic to help cut down on wind reduction. I have some pretty good cameras for when I'm filming, but my phone is terrible for, it's just old. It's just an old phone. I don't want to spend a bunch of money. Hey, shout out. We got 3 people up in here. We're just live in the backyard pond. It's been an interesting morning. Normally I try to fish somewhere new every morning. And so last night I was on Google Maps, scoping spots, and woke up early, got out there, and hiked through, I don't know, half a mile of really thick brush. And it's a rainy day here in the Pacific Northwest, especially out at the coast. All right. Well, if nobody's in here, I am going to... that was pretty gay, bro. Not like the good kind of gay, but like... Hey, Max Wiley. How you doing, man? I didn't think anybody was up in here. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. I don't think I've seen you around before. Thanks for checking out the channel. We're live every morning and every evening, 6:30 Pacific Standard. And we're catching fish all summer long, you know. In the morning, I usually typically try to find something new to fish, new pond, new stream, new ocean. Well, I only got one ocean, so maybe new part of the ocean. I'm out here in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm lucky. There's ponds, rivers, streams, sloughs, oceans, everywhere. And I went out to find a new one this morning. We'll skip ahead a little bit. Long story short is I'm in the backyard pond, and it's a 4-acre pond, pretty nice. We got bass, bluegill, yellow perch, channel cat, or not channel cat, I wish. We got bullhead catfish, and lots of sunfish. It's just a 4-acre pond. I share it with 6-7 other people who live on it, and got a worm and a bobber. We're gonna throw that out, and then I'll tell you guys a little bit how my morning's getting off to. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday, and I appreciate you checking out the channel. Yeah, thanks. So, like I said, I'd like to appreciate those comments, man. I'm always watching chat. I'm been doing this live stream thing for about a week, been week and some change, and so this morning I get up on Google. No, last night I was checking out Google Maps because I like to scope the spots the night before, and I get there in the truck this morning, and I hiked through probably a mile and no, that's an exaggeration, half a mile. Felt like 10 though, because it was thick brush, it's wet, it's raining, and I'm getting soaked. My fishing rod's, getting caught on everything. And I get there, and according to Google Maps, I'm standing in the middle of this lake. And I'm looking around, and I don't see anything, man. There's nothing. There's no lake. There's no pond. There's not even a puddle. There's not even a sign of a lake. Like it dried out this time of year. There's nothing there. So I spend another 30 minutes or so, and this is 5 o'clock in the morning. I go live at 6:30, and I did see some pretty cool deer. Got a lot of wildlife where I live. Saw big coyotes. I mean, try to silver line it, but long story short is Google Maps is a liar. There was no lake there. There was no pond. There was no nothing. I mean, I continue to wander around through the, we'll flip you around so you don't have to look at my face, and you can look at the pond, at least watch the bobber. So like I said, I always try to find somewhere new to fish every morning, and there was just nothing. Google Maps just lied to me. So I spent the majority of my morning bushwhacking to not find this new pond, but that's all right. Sometimes it's just like that. I'm gonna rebait, get a little bit better of a cast. I built this little, I call it the fish shack, and it's just some 2x4s with the corrugated plastic roof, but it keeps me dry. The only problem is it's about 4 foot tall and pretty difficult to cast. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. Thanks for taking the time to rock with me. if I get some more coffee up in me. Hey, if you're just getting here, we are backyard pond fishing. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday morning. I get a little bit of coffee in me and get some motivation. I got the bait caster. We might throw a soft plastic around. It's definitely a goal of mine to catch a bass. I've done some topwater before, not a whole lot, but some. And it's been a goal of mine to try to catch one on a frog. And I've never had any luck doing that. You know, I've caught them on poppers, buzz baits, that kind of thing, but I've never caught one on a frog. I'm hoping the rain lightens up a little bit, but it doesn't look good. It's probably going to rain for the next 2 or 3 days. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, isn't it summertime? Yeah, this is summertime where I live, about 50 degrees and raining. And I'd say we needed the rain, but we don't. I live out here on the Washington coast, and it's beautiful. I love it out here. We got lots of ponds to fish. I'm about a mile from the ocean, and I do quite a bit of saltwater fishing as well. I just haven't gotten around to it because I'm really focused on largemouth bass at the moment. Moved out here about 5 years ago from the city. Wife picked up a good job at the just picked up a good job. So we moved out here, get away from, you know, I lived in Vancouver, Washington, just outside of Portland. And housing prices were just terrible. We were renting a shitty 2-bedroom apartment for like close to $3,000 a month. And at the time, we found this house out here. And I mean, it's nothing. It's definitely not a mansion. It's just, you know, 1,200 square feet. But there's just 2 of us and the dog. So 1,200 square feet was enough. Plus, it's got a pretty good shop, which I like. It was affordable. You know, I moved out here, and now our mortgage is significantly cheaper than we were paying in rent. Living in a rural area is kind of different. Like, we don't have Uber Eats. We don't have... Hey, my best friend just woke up. Stand by. She'll be here in a minute. Can you see her? Come here, dog. You know, it's weird being middle-aged. If you would have told me I own a Chihuahua and I carry that Chihuahua around in my coat, I would have never believed you. Come on. Good morning. Yeah, if you're just getting here, thanks for taking the time to check us out. We're just kind of fishing for, I'm targeting yellow perch, but the pond, you never know what you're going to get. That could be a largemouth bass, could be a brim, could be a bluegill. Catfish would be nice, but right now I'm just kind of hanging out, drinking some coffee, watching my bobber, playing with the Chihuahua. Hey, good morning. If you're just getting here, thanks for checking us out on this wet Wednesday. It's a drizzly one in the Pacific Northwest. Doing a little bobber fishing in the backyard pond. I try to fish somewhere. If you're new to the channel, I'm live every morning, 6:30. And I've been trying to fish somewhere new every day. You guys don't want to hang out? If you're lurking in the background, leave a comment. Let me know you're here. Hey, good morning. If you're just getting here, thanks for taking the time to rock with me on a wet Wednesday. I hope you guys are having a good week halfway through. Shout out to the people just getting here. This is kind of boring fishing here. It's worked since you were a kid. Been working since probably dawn of time, but we got a bobber. Got a night crawler. Throwing it out, seeing what bites. Hey, if you're just getting here, happy Wednesday, man. Hope you're having a good one. It's a pretty drizzly morning out here in the Pacific Northwest. If you're new to the channel, I go live every day, 6:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. In the morning, I typically like to fish a new pond. I live in the Pacific Northwest, and there's ponds everywhere. Ponds, streams, lakes, river. The ocean is about a mile that way, and I kind of just took a vow. I'm gonna fish more. You know, normally lately it just seems like I've been caught up in the same type of fishing. I'll just fish the beach for perch, and then I'll fish salmon when the salmon start running. But I live next to all these freshwater ponds, so why not fish them? Went out this morning looking for a new pond on Google Maps. I checked it out the night before, and I get there, you know, early. I go live at 6:30, so I'm pulling up to the spot about 5, and I'm doing some bushcrafting or bushwhacking, you know, and it's wet, and I'm getting soaked. My fishing rod's getting tangled on everything, but I'm trying to find this pond, something new, something different, something I've never fished before. Something I'm reasonably sure nobody's ever fished before. Those are my favorites. Or at least nobody, it's hard to say. You know, I haven't been around since the dawn of time. I might look like it, but I'm not that old. And try to fish something new. Hey, if you're just getting here, we're just telling stories, man. It's a rainy day in the Pacific Northwest. Got my ass kicked bushwhacking this morning. I was looking for a pond on Google Maps. Walked through about a half a mile, felt like 10 because it's wet, it's raining, my pole's getting snagged on everything. And I'm looking at my phone on Google Maps, and it says I'm standing in the middle of a pond. And there is no pond. There's not a puddle. There's not a pond that dried up. There is just thick underbrush, overgrown crap. And I'm soaked and wet because it's raining. I'm double checking my phone, looking for this pond on Google Maps so I can fish somewhere new. Because that's what I do every morning, 6:30 live. I try to find some new pond where I live out in the Pacific Northwest and fish it. So after about an hour of just I'm cursing, I'm angry, I'm cursing the creator of Google Maps, and I'm soaking wet. All my gear is just tangled and beat up because there's no pond here. There's not even a puddle, not a creek, not even anything. So I load up the truck and come home and dry off. And long story short is we're fishing in the backyard pond now. I'm lucky enough I own I don't own it, but I live on a 4.5 acre pond. It connects out into the bay that way, and if you go that way, it connects up onto the backside of the golf course and allegedly into a larger lake. I've been up there tons of times, never found the larger lake. It's been a bucket list item of me for the last 5 years. It's called Skating Lake, and if you look on Google Maps, it shows a canal that runs through there, and there is a canal. I need to pay more attention to my bobber, though. We got a bobber with a night crawler out. We are fishing currently. Not fishing very hard because I'm just trying to wake up. I think we're drinking more coffee than we are fishing. But it is a very wet and rainy Wednesday morning out here in the Pacific Northwest. I'll flip you guys around so you can see the pond. I'm going to untangle. We're caught up in some lily pads. If I get any kind of motivation, I will... are you guys looking at my butt? Weirdos. If I get any kind of motivation, I'll pull out the bait caster and try to throw around for largemouth. That'd make a great thumbnail, right? Just bam, like I'm really doing something. But what we're really doing is being caught up on a lily pad. Oh boy. All right, I guess we're breaking off. I definitely should have been more prepared for this live stream. I gotta go grab some terminal tackle. I'm gonna re-rig. I gotta put in, you know what? I'm pretty close to the house. So I'll probably just grab another pole, throw it out there. I'm gonna grab some soft plastic. When I get back, I'll rig up some soft plastic, throw a speed worm around, see if I can't find a largemouth bass. If you're just getting here, thanks for taking the time to rock with me on a wet Wednesday. I gotta go grab some more gear. Defeated by a lily pad. Hopefully we can stop playing around and catch some effing fish. It's Wednesday. I'd really like a fish before I start the day. I'm gonna flip you guys around, let you look at the pond, enjoy the birds and the wildlife. I'm gonna grab some gear and I'll be right back. If nothing else, at least it's pretty chill where I live. Sorry for being so boring at the moment. I should have been better prepared. No. And I'm possibly live on the mic. Morning. I'll be the best. Hey, shout out to the 2 people up in here. If you're just getting here, let me check the message. Sorry, I broke off and I had to go get a new rod. Mainly because it was easier than this rod. We'll flip you around. Hey, if you're just getting here, thanks for taking the time to check us out. Live every morning. Wednesday as I film this, a little bit rainy. Wife just hooked it up with a fat ass cinnamon roll. Delicious. Pretty stoked about that. Got a cup of coffee. This rod brings back all kinds of memories. It is a... Sorry, we're kind of out of focus, but it's a Zebco Eclipse. I had this rod since childhood. The reel's not original, but this rod's got more bodies than my ex-girlfriend, so out here looking for I'd really like a yellow perch. Rainy day in the Pacific Northwest. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate you taking the time to check us out. We go live every morning at 6 a.m. and every evening at 6:30. 6 a.m. is just a little too early, and lately I've been trying to fish somewhere new. I live in the Pacific Northwest, lots of ponds, streams, lakes, rivers, and we do live fishing new every morning. Not somewhere new today, because we'll just say shit happens and Google Maps lies. That's all I got to say about that. This is a little smaller hook. Let's get it thrown out there. We're all baited up, and then drink some coffee and hopefully catch some fish. I'm tired of playing. Got our bobber and our Zebco there. Bobber's floating wrong. If you're a fishing enthusiast, you'll probably be very upset by a upside down bobber. But right now, I think I'm just gonna eat some of the cinnamon roll and drink some coffee. Got a camping trip planned out for this weekend. Alright. Hey, if you're just getting here, thanks for taking the time to check out the channel. Live fishing every day. 6:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. Normally in the morning, I'm fishing somewhere new. I went out to fish somewhere new this morning and pull up to this night before. I used Google Maps and I just look for ponds. Just ponds, streams, lakes, and the Pacific Northwest. So there's a bunch of them. You know, there's probably 50 to 100 ponds where I live within, 20-30 mile radius. And went out last night. Okay, so I was on Google Maps. That's how I found a spot. Found one in the middle of what I thought nowhere was. And I get there early this morning, about 5 o'clock, and I'm stoked. I'm gonna check out this new pond. I don't think, my favorite one is if I don't think anybody's ever fished there. You know what I mean? And I haven't been around since the dawn of time, so I can't really tell that. But if you're in here, I can't see you, so drop a message and I'll talk more. But if not, I'm just gonna eat my cinnamon roll and damn, I don't know what's up with that bobber. If you're just getting here, thanks for checking out the channel. Wet Wednesday out here in the Pacific Northwest. Hoping to catch some fish. Yesterday, I went out on Google Maps, and normally on the morning lives, which is every day, 6:30 Pacific Standard and 6:30 in the evening. Live fishing every day. Bass, bluegill, perch, salmon, pike, kokanee, everything. You name it, I'll fish it. And so last night I was scoping a new spot on Google Maps. I pull up there early, about 5 a.m. And I started doing some bush whacking through the brush, underbrush, thick brush out here at the coast. And I get there and I'm checking my phone. My rod's getting tangled, snagged on everything. Cinnamon roll is delicious, though. Hey, if you're just getting here, thanks for checking out the channel. Doing some backyard fishing. Check it out. Sorry about that. It caught me with a mouthful of cinnamon roll. My wife made them. They're delicious. But if you're new to the channel, we're live every day, 6:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. Typically in the mornings, I like to fish somewhere new. But I went out looking for a spot this morning off of Google Maps. And I walked through the wilderness to get there. And there was no pond. Google Maps is 100% a liar. So we're live in the backyard. This is a pretty good pond, though. There's yellow perch, bluegill, and if the rain lightens up just a hair, I will start doing some soft plastic, looking for largemouth. Bobber's upside down, which means not. Oh, there it goes. Kind of straightens out. I don't have any weight on it. Nothing worse than an upside down bobber. I got a bait caster I'm rigging up with a speed worm. It's a 4.5 acre pond, and it runs, if you go left, it runs up to the back side of the golf course. If you go right, it drains out into the bay and eventually the ocean. We got brim, bluegill, trout, bullhead catfish, yellow perch, and I've been trying to get rid of all the spotted bass to make room for the large, but occasionally we'll get a spotted bass in there. But they're fun to catch. Got a bobber and a worm. If you're new to the channel, we're live every morning, 6:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. The evening casts are typically just back here. Hey, good morning. If you're just getting here, shout out to the 6 people. If you guys are new to the channel, we're live every morning, 6:30 Pacific Standard, both AM and PM. Oh, there's a bite. Guy starts live streaming and doesn't pay attention to the bobber. That could have been that was definitely a failure to connect. Let's see if we got a worm still. Get all excited about 6 people. We got 2 people up in here. Shout out to you if you're just getting here. We're doing a little bobber fishing in the backyard. Trying to get enough coffee in us to maybe get that bait caster going and see if we can catch some largemouth. It's a pretty wet morning in the Pacific Northwest. If you're new to the channel, Thanks for taking the time to rock with me. We go live every morning, 6:30 a.m. and p.m. Pacific Standard. So, hey, if you're just getting here, thanks for checking out the channel. It's a pretty wet Wednesday in the Pacific Northwest. Doing some bobber fishing on the backyard pond. A little bit about the pond is 4 acres. Got bluegill, brim, channel cats, trout. I'm trying to get rid of the spotted bass, but there's spotted bass in there as well as largemouth. It's not a very big pond, maybe 4.5 acres, but it connects to a bunch of larger streams. I live out in the Pacific Northwest. It's pretty rainy, pretty wet. Lots of wetland areas. Appreciate you taking the time to check us out on a Wednesday. Currently hanging out in the fish shack. And the fish shack is a fancy word for 2x4s with some corrugated plastic. Hey, shout out to the guy who just joined. We're live in the backyard pond doing some bobber fishing. It's a 4-acre pond. There's bluegill, there's catfish, there's bullhead catfish, and there's also trout and largemouth bass. There is spotted bass as well, but they are hopefully trying to go extinct to make room for the largies. I got a barbutter and a night crawler out there. If you're new to the channel, we go live every day, 6:30 a.m. and p.m. Pacific Standard. And we'll be doing that all summer long. I live out here in the Pacific Northwest, and there are tons of lakes, streams, rivers, oceans, mud puddles, ditches. You name it, I'll fish it. We got a soft plastic tied up. We're gonna try to throw that speed worm around. Not having much luck on the bobber this morning. Let me flip you guys around, hopefully get you a little better view. Bloop. Hey, shout out to the 3 people up in here. Sorry, I'm not a YouTuber. I just recently started doing these lives. I'm having a good time with it. But for not being a YouTuber, I'm trying to up my game. Like, we got the wireless mics. Hopefully cut down on some of that wind noise. If you could leave me a comment about my audio, that'd be fantastic. Oh, shit. And just like that, the bobber's gone. All right. We got a fishy. What do we got? What do you think? I know what that is. Damn, that is gone. Our bobber is now in the tree. That was a yellow perch, and the thing is, if you're fishing ultralight like that, that half-pound perch felt like a effing monster. But whoa, dropping you guys. Sorry, trying to get the tripod all set up here. And I know it's an old man thing to do is fish with a tripod, but we're out here in the backyard pond, just lost. Probably the only fish we'll catch today, but it was a yellow perch. So we're gonna rebait with those fancy night crawlers. I got a speed worm rigged up, hoping to do some bass fishing. As soon as I put the speed worm on, my other rod took off on me. Rainy day in the Pacific Northwest. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate you checking us out. We're live every day at 6:30 Pacific Standard, and that's both 6:30s. Hour in the morning, hour in the evening. Sometimes if I'm catching fish, I'll hang out a little bit longer. Just trying to rebait the 3 people in here. Appreciate you taking the time to rock with me. Pretty soggy Wednesday out here in the Pacific Northwest. I live about a mile from the ocean on the coast, and it's a wet one, you know. You can tell it's summertime because I only need one hoodie versus a hoodie and a coat, and the rest of the state is under a heat advisory. And I feel like I am in the perfect area so nobody sees my sparkly vampireness. Alright, we got a chunk of night crawler on there. Let's get that thrown out. Bait caster still rigged up. Little bummed out I missed that yellow perch. If I could get a yellow perch that's half a pound or so, I would gladly enjoy that for breakfast. Alright, got that thrown out there. Guys, keep an eye on that. I'll get the bait caster. I'm gonna try to move this camera around a little. Bear with me, sorry. You guys just got the scenic grand tour. All right, that's the backyard pond. Let's get the bait caster, start making some casts, see if we can catch some bass. Get serious about fishing. That's what we're here for, right? Nothing overly fancy here. Got a Black Max, Abu Garcia, speed worm, pumpkin green. Why do they have the most silliest names for these soft plastic colors? Pumpkin green. How many green pumpkins are there? When you think of pumpkin, who thinks of the color green? We kind of casted that bobber in the area I want to fish. So it's probably only a matter of time before I hook into it. Speed worm looks good. Swimming like it should. Coffee's starting to kick in, starting to warm up a little bit. Neighbor's doing some wake and bake. You can always tell when he's up because there's a hint of weed in the air, and then you hear him hacking along out. Nice guy, but starts his day off with a blunt or two. Hey, if you're just getting here, thanks for checking us out. Wet Wednesday out here on the... Just kidding. Wasn't even fishing. Hey, if you're just getting here, thanks for taking the time to check us out. We're live every morning, 6:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. In the morning, I try to typically fish somewhere new. In the evenings, I usually just hang out here in the backyard pond. Went out this morning looking for a new pond off of Google Maps. A lot of times I'll just go on Google Maps, say, hey, there's a pond there, and then I'll go fish it. But this morning I get there after hiking through about a half a mile of really thick underbrush in the rain and fishing pole getting tangled and caught on everything. There was no pond. I get there, I hike a mile and a half into the middle of nowhere, and I get soaking wet just to find out. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask. There's some fish turning over right there. They're eating some skeeters, and if I can get there, I am sure I can get one. Do the backhanded, underhand cast. There's a tree above us. Close. So I'm on Google Maps looking for this new pond, and I get there, and I'm standing in the middle of nowhere, soaking wet, cursing at everything because it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and there's no pond. There's no pond, there's no puddle, there's no stream, there's no nothing. But according to Google Maps, I should be standing in the middle of this lake. Not a lake, that's an exaggeration. Middle of this body of water. And it didn't even look like there was no signs of a pond. I'm like, oh, maybe it's summertime, maybe it's just dried up. Which is close, nothing ever dries up. So after about an hour of walking around in the woods looking for this pond, I decided to admit defeat for the day and I head back. And now I'm just kind of fishing my backyard pond. And it doesn't usually let me down. Rainy day in the Pacific Northwest. If you're just getting here, thanks for checking out the channel. Doing a little bit of bobber and worm fishing, which I know is kind of boring. In the backyard pond, we got trout, we got bluegill, got bullhead catfish. Call that the golf cast, but kind of hanging out underneath this tree. Hey, shout out to the 2 people we got. If you're just getting here, rainy day in the Pacific Northwest. And we're just doing some bobber fishing in the backyard pond. I'm live. Just kidding. Can't hold people's attention span. Telling me people would rather go to work than watch me fish? What kind of crap is that? Hey man, if you're just getting here, thanks for checking out the channel. We're doing some bobber fishing in the backyard pond. Go live every day, 6 o'clock. It's 6:30. That's Pacific Standard Time. And if you're wondering which 6:30, both of them. A little bit of morning fishing, a little bit of evening fishing. In the morning, I try to check. Aw. Hey, if you're up in here, leave me a comment. Let me know you're here. Tell you a little bit about the channel. But right now, we're just doing some bobber fishing in the backyard pond. Hey, good morning. Thanks for taking the time to rock with me. Right now, we're just doing a little bobber fishing. Got a speed worm on a bait caster rigged up. Like to get a largemouth. What I'd really like is a yellow perch. This is my backyard pond. It's about 4 acres. It's not mine. Share it with a couple other people, but it's right in the backyard. Normally, if you're new to the channel, I go live every morning, 6:30 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. The evening casts are usually here in the backyard pond. The morning, I try to get out and fish something new. I live in the Pacific Northwest, and it's other than rainy, but with all that rain, we got lots of ponds, lots of streams, about a mile from the ocean, and trying to fish them all. Every roadside ditch, everything, any body of water, I want to fish it. You know, I moved out here about 5 years ago from the big city, not too far from Portland, Oregon, and got into saltwater, quite a bit of perch, quite a bit of salmon fishing. And I've been driving around this area and looking at all these ponds, and I've always wanted to fish them and never did. So this summer we're going to make that happen. We're going to fish all of them, all of the ponds, all of the streams, all of the bodies of water every morning, live. Got a 4-acre pond here, connects to the, everything's kind of connected. It's a lot of waterways, sloughs, whatever you want to call them. I don't know the difference between a slough and a swamp, but got the big bullfrogs out. Appreciate you taking the time to check out the channel. If you're just getting here, we got a speed worm on a bait caster. We got a night crawler on a Zebco. Got a mild amount of rain in the Pacific Northwest. Might switch out the speed worm for a rooster tail. Inline spinner, I guess rooster tail's a brand. Getting some action on the bobber. He's probably just stealing a worm that getting a little soggy. And check the bobber right quick. Hey man, if you're just getting here, I appreciate you taking the time to rock with me on a wet Wednesday. I know what you're thinking. You're like, why is that dude wearing a hoodie? Because it's cold, man. I live out on the Washington State coast. We get quite a bit of rainy weather, and today just happens to be one of those days. This is like the first fishing rod I've ever had, and it's the Zebco Eclipse. Of course, the original reel broke, so I just replaced it with the little Shakespeare. I keep trying to wipe crap off my face, but it's on my screen. I'm going to try to move this bobber up a little bit, see if we can go a little deeper. It's a 4-acre pond. There's perch, there's bluegill, bullhead catfish, trout, and trying to get rid of the spotted bass, but there's a few of those around as well as some large. Get this bobber brought up a little bit. You guys are putting a bobber on. Do you just wrap it once? Do you just hook it through? How do you put your bobber on? Do a couple wraps, which means you got to take it off and it slides, but I can see a bunch of fish pooling up, eating some bugs. I'm hoping they're perch, but we'll see. I'm gonna cast this out there, then maybe I'll go back to throwing that speed worm around. Optimistic about that. We'll see. Been at this for a chunk of time now. Failure to connect, but come on, give me a fish for that highlight reel. Hey, if you're just getting in here, thanks for taking the time to check us out. Got a Zebco with the night crawler and bait caster with the speed worm. I guess the fish aren't hungry. Says every fisherman who can't catch a fish, right? Hey, shout out to the 2 people we got up in here. Appreciate you taking the time to check out the channel. If you ain't never been here before, live fishing every morning, 6:30 Pacific Standard. In the morning, I typically like to try to fish a new pond. I live out here in the Pacific Northwest, out on the coast. Lots of waterways, lots of ponds. Missed a bite there. That's promising. We'll throw it back out. Hopefully we connect. But the evening cast, I'll just be out in the backyard. This is my backyard pond. 4 acres full of bass, trout, fish, perch, bluegill, bullhead catfish. I went out this morning looking for a new pond. I checked this Google Maps night before, and that's kind of how I find ponds. Just say, all right, we'll check this out on Google Maps. We'll drive the truck out there and see if we can catch anything. And I get there and pull up pretty early. Start hiking through this thick underbrush looking for this pond, checking my phone, and I'm not expecting it to be like, pro hiking GPS, but according to Google Maps, I was standing in the middle of the pond and there was nothing there. And I'm angry because my Fishing poles getting caught on everything. Thick underbrush, soaking wet. Just not having a good time. And I get there and there's no pond. There's no stream. There's no lake. There's not even a mud puddle. Which was a little frustrating. So a few 4-letter words later, I headed back to the truck and came home, drank some coffee. Now we're just fishing the backyard pond. Hopefully we can catch something. Missed the yellow perch earlier. Had a bite. We're just throwing a speed worm. We got the Zebco out with the night crawler. Thanks for taking the time to check us out on this wet Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a great week. Pond's pretty deep, 19 feet at the deepest. Runs out into the bay, and then it runs up behind a golf course into another larger lake. Everything kind of feeds into each other around where I live. I think I'm gonna check that bobber here in a second. I see signs of life. I just want to catch one. You know, that speed worm looks real pretty. I don't know why he's not getting any love. I might run an inline spinner here in a second. It's always a bucket list item. Not a bucket list. That makes it sound like I have to do it before I die. You know, hey, shout out, we got 3 people up in here. We just got a Zebco with the night crawler, threw it out. And what'll hit that? Also got a bait caster with the speed worm. Rainy day out here in the Pacific Northwest. If you're new to the channel, thanks for checking us out. If you've been here before, I appreciate you rocking with me again. If you want to drop a comment, let me know you're here. Let me know how your work week's going. Ooh, that's a fish. Here, fishy, fishy. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's what I get for trying to multitask. I definitely missed that bite. Sometimes I try to run 2 rods at the same time. I'll throw the bobber out and then try to run a speed worm or something. But sometimes that causes me to miss bites, and that's just what happened. We'll throw this back out there. We'll actually keep an eye on it, and hopefully we can get a fish. I don't know what's going on with my bobber, but it doesn't want to be a bobber. All right, let's get this night crawler in the water. Let's catch a fish. I'm enjoying throwing that speed worm around, but bobber to try to play with the speed worm. If you're just getting here, thanks for taking the time to rock with me on a Wednesday. It's a rainy one here in the Pacific Northwest. If you're new to the channel, we go live every... Now it wants to pour. Yeah, alright. Alright. Here, fishy. I know the second I, Sorry, I thought I was alone. Drop a comment next time. Let me know you're here. We got a Zebco with a night crawler, backyard pond, 4 acres. Looking for trout or yellow perch. I doubt I'll get a trout. But if you're just getting here, thanks for taking the time to rock with me. Wet Wednesday out here in the Pacific Northwest. Normally, I do the bobber and the bait caster, but I've been missing bites on the bobber. So as much as I don't want to, I'm trying to give it enough attention to where I can actually land a fish. If you're new to the channel, we're live every day, 6:30 a.m. and p.m. Pacific Standard Time. In the morning, I typically like to head out and fish a new pond. There's ponds everywhere. They have hundreds of them all over the place. So are people catching fish live all the time? I don't know, I don't know. Hey, shout out to the 3 people. Thanks for taking the time to check out the channel. We go live fishing every morning, 6:30. Trying to do a new pond every morning. Doesn't always work that way. This morning, I went on to Google Maps. That's how I find ponds, or if I'm driving by them on the side of the road. And I went on Google Maps this morning looking for a new spot. And I pull up and I walk about a half a mile through some wet forest. And there's no pond. According to Google Maps, I'm standing in the middle of the pond. I'm going to try to cast out a little further. Maybe they're out a little deeper this morning. That's the money shot right there. Hey, if you're just getting here, thanks for taking the time to check me out on a Wednesday. Live fishing every morning, 6:30. In the morning, I typically like to fish somewhere new. New pond, new stream, new lake, new part of the ocean. Something new. Today, it just didn't work out that way. Ended up getting soaking wet, stomping through the woods to look for a pond that didn't exist. We'll leave that Zebco out there. I think I'm going to tie up an inline spinner. Hopefully get something on an inline, something different. Raining pretty good. I might call it a day here in a second. Hey, sorry, didn't see you were there. I think I got a fish though. I was busy tying on I missed him. Busy tying on a lure, not paying attention to my bobber, and just missed the fish. Such is life. I have to get a new bobber here sooner or later. That one's kind of shot. You guys can't even see it. Hey, shout out to the 2 people up in here. Appreciate you taking the time to rock with me on a Wednesday. We got a Zebco and a Nightcrawler out there at the moment, but just got done. Oh, that's a fish. I'm getting bites. See, I'm so busy playing with my other rod that I'm missing bites. Apparently the word Zebco is a turnoff for a lot of people. I think it's less about the brand Zebco and more about bobber fish. Not a lot of people like to bobber fish. Hey, if you're just getting here, thanks for taking time to rock with me on a wet Wednesday morning. I'm out here in the Pacific Northwest, throwing a speed worm around looking for bass. But I also got a Zebco out looking for yellow perch, maybe a bluegill. It is definitely summertime, you can tell, because it's only raining a little bit. Appreciate you taking time to rock with me. I'm going to switch up. I was throwing a speed worm, but I think we're going to go inline spinner, like a blue fox. I think I'm just going to pay attention to that bobber, because I'm getting bit. I just got to focus on it, get that hook set. Hey, fishy, fishy, fishy. He's toying. There he is. What do we got? What do we got? We got a fish that flopped off on the bank. Failure to connect. I couldn't quite see him. He might have been a brim. He might have been a yellow perch. I'm really hoping for a fatty yellow perch. We're gonna still got a chunk of worm on there. We're gonna cast out, see if we can't connect. Hey, if you're just getting here, shout out to you. Thanks for taking the time to check us out. We're live every morning, a.m. and 6:30 p.m. So twice a day live fishing. If that sounds like your kind of thing, subscribe. You know, we do bass, bluegill, saltwater. I live out here in the Pacific Northwest, and I need to just hang on to that rod. I'm getting bites, I'm getting toyed with, but hopefully we can connect. I was running 2 rods for a minute, throwing a speed worm around. I was trying to switch up to inline spinner, but it seems like every time I grab the bass rod, the bobber disappears. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday, halfway through the work week. I've been saying last cast for about 29 minutes now, and leave it. Tried to skyrocket that guy. I'm getting bites. I think, you know, moonshot that poor perch to the moon. It's kind of fun running ultralight gear. Haven't been doing that lately. Normally, you know, I got a big heavy trout pole or the big heavy bass pole. Kind of nice to run something a little lighter. Makes that half-pound fish feel a whole lot heavier. I'm gonna rebait, throw out there. I see signs of life. I see him eating these little mosquitoes. Raining just enough to get you soaking wet. Summertime at the coast. Washington coast, if we're gonna be specific. Backyard pond. 4 acres. Nothing too crazy, but if you go that way, it drains out into 2 or 3 other ponds, and then out into the bay. If you go the other way, it gets fed by a larger lake that I don't think exists. And there's also a golf course that I'm planning to sneak on and do some camping. You know, I got one bush on the bank, and of course I hook it. Never ceases to amaze me. I guess we're trimming shrubs and not catching fish. Well, at least it didn't break off. We'll go ahead and make sure that chunk of night crawler's on there pretty good. Hey, if you're just getting here to rock with us on a wet Wednesday on the Pacific Northwest, just missed a hook set on I don't know if he was a brim or a yellow perch. I'm hoping for a yellow perch, maybe a pound, half a pound. They don't get overly big, but they're delicious. Out of they're number 2. They're number 2 on my favorite fish to eat in the backyard pond. I guess if we're going in order, it's going to be bullhead catfish, a yellow perch, bluegill, trout, and then bass. I've never tried to eat a sunfish, but there's a few of those in here as well. Normally I run 2 poles. I'll be throwing that's a fish. If I can connect. Yeah. All right. Stay on there. Missed him. It hit hard. Damn. He's still there. He's toying with me. I just can't set that hook. Got that ultralight. We're fighting him. We'll get him. Oh, he's not even. What do you think it is? We got him. But we're not even reeling in. We're just tangling our gear because our drag was open. All right. That's what I wanted. I want him a little bigger. But, you know, that's a fish. Can we get a like for a yellow perch? He's a slippery guy. He's all of 4 inches and a fraction of a pound. But we'll get him back so he can grow up. Good looking fish though. Yellow perch. Let's go. Back you go, buddy. Thanks for playing. Go tell your big brother. All right, 1 fish down. Makes standing out in the freezing cold rain almost worth it. It's funny, one little fish can really shift the mood, you know? I was out here thinking, why the hell am I standing in the rain to not catch any fish? Let's see if we can do it again. That's a bite. Can't connect, but that's a bite. That's a fish. That feels like a decent one. But everything feels like a decent fish on an ultralight. And he just spit it. Hey, if you're just getting here, thanks for checking us out. Doing some backyard fishing. Seems like we're connecting on a yellow perch. Itty bitty guys, nothing to write home about. I'd like to find a bigger one. If you're new to the channel, live fishing every day, 6:30 a.m. and p.m. Normally in the morning, I'm scoping out something new. Long story short is I walked half a mile through some forest this morning to find a new pond that I saw on Google Maps, only to find out that it doesn't exist. Getting bite. There's a fishy. There's a fishy. He's running right at me, though. Let's see what we got. You know, they feel big on those ultra. He's a pretty big boy. Oh. Defeat. Well, we just clusterfucked our deer. If you're watching this after the fact, oh, I got 3 people up in here. Just lost some perch at the bank. Clusterfucked our deer. If you're new, we're live every morning 6:30. Usually fishing something new. 6:30 a.m., 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Ripping lips and talking some shit. This has been Outdoors with Dunk. Reminding you, go outside. It's good for your soul. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. I'm never sure